Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for joining us today. I'll try and be as brief as possible. We'll just a quick look. Really, what is EIP Agri? And the first thing is that we must be aware of is like that EIP Agri is not a standalone initiative. EIP Agri is one of five EIPs, and they're kind of a dynamic and an innovative concept brought forward by the EU. EIP Agri then, as part of that, was launched to boost innovation within the agriculture sector. It's differentiated from the other four EIPs. They address areas like water, raw materials, and smart cities. But they're characterized by many of the same features. They're challenge orientated. They prioritize social benefits and modernization. That theme will come through in many of the calls that you'll see over the future for the EIPs. They foster collaboration among the research and innovation partners, and this is key. And one of the other areas there is they concentrate on like an outcome, and we'll look at that further down the line. And then there's an interactive innovation model. This goes beyond the traditional research that Europe had funded in the past, where it was a linear model. Now we have interactive, so it brings different partners from the start. The EIP Agri, then the overarching objective is a combination of expertise and resources through the engagement within the public and the private sector within the EU. EIP Agri is committed to four really key areas with the formation of the partnerships. We'll talk about that in a minute. And the partnership concept is really connecting stakeholders in operational groups. And then the EIP Agri program was really designed to address key environmental challenges and concerns, and then integrating measures from the supply and the demand side through the stakeholders who are members of the operational groups. The operational group then, or the OG as it will be referred to in this, is really key to how the EIPs are going to operate, and really key for those people who are interested as well in starting their journey on EIPs. The kind of key principles of our operational group are that it's relevant complementary knowledge. So all members of the operational group must be able to provide something key to the project itself. And then it's a bottom-up approach. So that's also key to EIP programs. And then there's a co-creation. So that comes down to once all the members of the operational group have relevant knowledge, then they can be involved in co-creating and making decisions in the project. And you'll see throughout the application process that you have to kind of identify why you picked the members of your operational group and what key information they can provide. And you'll see that from some of the other people who talk today as well. So on kind of your journey then in starting your operational group, they all have complementary knowledge. They're kind of members then they can come from like ACUS, from the Agricultural Knowledge and Information System. And then you find you've identified a local challenge, then you choose the partners who can kind of work with you on this challenge, and then you can identify a solution then. So you build a proposal around this. But really, one thing we would like to say is that it's important to have a considered approach to your selection of your operational group and the members of the group, so that it can link well with your goals. I'm not going to read all of this. This is on the guidelines for first phase applicants, but you will see that like some of the key points, if you continue to refer back to this while you're making your phase one application, but some of the key things, there has to be more than one member. They must be based in Ireland. Each member has to have a real contribution to the operational group. And down at the end there, you'll see as well that 30% of the marks for the phase one application are on the quality of the operational group. So that's really, it just shows you the importance that's placed on it and the relevance of a good operational group. Another key point to be aware of is the operational group and the EIP Agri program is not a standalone program. There's nearly 10,000 operational groups established in the EU and over 3,500 EIP Agri operational groups. If you go to the EU CAP Network website listed there, you'll have more information about them all. And over the 2023 to 27 planning period, there's going to be over 6,600 projects. So when you're starting your group, you must be aware that you're part of a much bigger organization. In Ireland, EIP Agri is administered under the Common Agricultural Policy and through the CAP strategic plan. It's co-funded by the European Agricultural Fund for Rural Development and the European Agricultural Guarantee Fund with national contributions as well. Ireland's CAP follows like performance and results-based approach. And then we have targeted interventions, and targeted interventions with regards to EIP, you'll see would be something like Michelle spoke about, the water project or the breeding waders. There's indicative funding for this program of 36 million, so it's quite extensive. So just a quick history. Everyone's going to talk about them, but like Ireland's journey really started in 2016, and there was a 59 million euro was spent on the first round of the EIP program between 2014 to 2022. It was extended to 2022. So some of the big projects and the standout ones were the hen harrier and the pearl mussel, and then the themes then were environmental in general. And you can see there's some nice infographics that were produced by the CAP network at the time. And you're going to hear later on from Patricia from one of the projects from that scale. So, but the key learnings, and like we CAP network have done some research in this area about what the original EIP Agri projects, have to add, and what we can learn now as we go forward as well. And they really liked the idea of the bottom up approach rather than top down. They also the fact that they were working together, and the potential for transferability as well. So these might be local problems, and you might find an innovative solution for a local problem, but that can be transferred nationally and also throughout the rest of Europe as well. And some of the OGs in the past, they've said like they liked the idea of just getting a group of farmers to work together to find a solution. Sometimes it was interesting as well. They got to work with different sectors of government and non-government organizations. And then the EIPs in the past, I think a general reflection is it was buy-in from landowners and from the general public. So that's interesting to see. And then when we look at what supports CAP Network will be able to offer you as you kind of embark on your EIP journey, in the phase one, which is where we are now, CAP Network are obviously hosting this webinar, and then we'll assist anyone who requires assistance at this stage in preparing their phase one application. As they go through, then hopefully those who are successful with their phase one application, there's going to be further information required, and CAP Network will be able to offer assistance with the content and the project plans, the level of detail that's required, and then how to access funding. The Department of Agriculture will potentially are able to release funding for the further stages of the application. And then as we go further down the line, then there's reporting requirements and the payment mechanisms that are required. Please remember as well to engage early and often with the department. If you have a question, they have a specific website, and they also have an email address for the EIPs that will share in the chat, and then people will be able to contact. With regards to partner search, so if people have an issue with this, CAP Network will send out, as part of our information pack following the webinar, we'll send out a Google form if you're interested if you're looking for a partner, or if you are somebody who would like to join an EIP and you have a specific skill set, you'll be able to register there, and we can share it with people who are interested. In the slide there, you'll just see there's an example of some of the people who are within our network. So you can always send us an email, and we'll see if we'll be able to assist as much as possible. Key lessons then from past applicants. Some people have identified the shortage of time in filling in their application. The department have indicated that they will give people ample time. So that really the key message is to start as early as possible, and people will find like their success rate in attaining funding for projects is generally strongly linked to starting early with your application. Other areas then as well is just lack of experience of proposal writing. That's where CAP Network will be able to assist. And then kind of when people went through the application, then some of the problems were getting it started and getting it off the ground. That'll be through your phase 2 and phase 3 applications. You'll be able to kind of put the programs in place and at the early and at the start, so it'll ease it. Then during the project, then the CAP Network are responsible for like publicizing the Irish EIP Agri program. So we make videos, we share information on our website and on our network newsletter. And then also we can promote your events if you wish on our social media channels. Then kind of after the project, then you could look at CAP Network will be able to assist in reporting, and we'll make templates as well for reporting and at the final reports for the projects as well, so they're just in line. And then we can also offer operational groups assistance then after the EIP is completed. If the OG can feel the project was successful and could also be the starting point for a new project, then we have ourselves and IRL, also members of CAP Network, and Éireann Innovation have extensive experience in getting national and European funding, and we will be in a position to help you going forward. Just an example of that would be one of the past EIP projects, Biorefinery Glas, which was led by IT Tralee as it was at the time, now MTU, and that was funded under the original project for a fund of 940,000. The operational group had 5 members, and that project has gone on to attain DAFM funding for infrastructure for 3.1 million, and it's also formed the basis for a circular bio-based Europe joint undertaking project for the sum of €9 million, where 4 out of the original 5 members of the operational group have joined. And James Gaffey, who led this project, said that really the CBEJU project is just a larger version of an EIP Agri. He said it's very EIP Agri inspired, and that's really, it's really nice to hear that that project then went forward to create something greater afterwards. And that's it. That's just my information. If you have any questions, just please send them on afterwards. Thanks very much.